Good evening. A man's died after a crash on the A19 near Sunderland, which has left a section of the carriageway closed all day. It happened shortly after 10 o'clock last night near the A183. Police say a man in his 60s was walking along the southbound carriageway when he was hit by two vehicles. He died at the scene. The A19 northbound between the junctions for the A690 and the A183 and the southbound carriageway between the junctions for the A1231 and the A690 remain closed for investigation. A 5-day strike by resident doctors is due to end tomorrow. The walkout by members of the BMA is in a row over pay and what they call a jobs crisis. The Health Secretary said the government did everything we could to avoid the strike. Patients in the North East are being thanked for their patience while the industrial action took place.
It's been a very challenging time for the NHS. We've tried to keep services safe and responsive for people, and we can see that the public have done their bit, and we really do want to express our thanks to the public for working with us to keep the NHS as safe as possible during this difficult time.
Now to a family from North Yorkshire who were looking forward to a Christmas with their toddler, which they feared they might never have had. Penelope Greathead has spent the year 250 miles away from her Whitby home, being treated at Great Ormond Street Hospital while a new heart could be found. Penelope eventually got the donation she needed, and her parents are now raising money to help other families in the same situation. Helen Steele reports.
Playing with her dog Baxter back home in North Yorkshire, and finally seeing the farm animals she'd only ever looked at in Brooks. They're scenes Penelope's parents feared they'd never see.
What's this?
For the past year, she'd been attached to a machine keeping her alive at Great Ormond Street Hospital. Then came the news a donor heart had been found and surgeons were ready to operate.
There's still nothing quite right about handing your little girl over to the surgeons that are going to do something like that.
Thankfully, the 10-hour operation was successful, and incredibly, just a few days later, Penelope was back on her feet. It was exactly a year ago that Penelope had a cardiac arrest and was placed on life support in Leeds. Her family were told her only hope was a Berlin heart, a machine which could keep her alive during the search for a donor. But there are only around 12 specialist beds for these Berlin hearts in the whole of England, and none were available.
The consultants and the team in Leeds basically said to us, there's no other options for Penelope right now. There is no beds in any of the hospitals in the UK that can support her on a Berlin heart. So your options are out. So essentially she was going to be left to die.
Then came the news they wanted. A Berlin heart had become available at London's Great Ormond Street Hospital. Jordan and Holly have now launched a charity.
We'll make sure she has the most healthy and love-filled life, and just literally live life to the full as much as she can, and just do it all knowing that that donor family aren't going to be able to have the same experience as what we are, but because of the decision they made, we're now back home with a healthy daughter.
Well, the NHS says the limited number of Berlin hearts used to sustain life in the wait for a transplant is due to a lack of organs, and they're encouraging people to donate. The Archbishop of York is asking people to take action to make the world more peaceful. Reflecting on the Christmas saying, peace on earth, Stephen Cottrell says it's more relevant than ever in our polarised world.
We're all aware of the ongoing conflicts in Ukraine and other places. I pray that there will be peace on earth. But I also pray that it can begin with me, begin with us. Jesus said, blessed are the peacemakers. Not the peace lovers, the peacemakers. And I think making peace is the responsibility of all of us.
And that's all from the newsroom this weekend. Stay with us though. Victoria has a full weather forecast, and of course she'll keep you up to date with what's in store for us this Christmas week. But for now, from everybody here, do have a very good evening.